Hello, and welcome back to Idiots Gaming in our playthrough of Vane. We are still here at the prison. If I can get out of my truck. There we go. Exactly where we left off last episode. I've been doing a little thinking about what I'm going to do here. I think I'm just going to loot the offices, like I've already started doing. And we will then go check out some other parts of the prison, so you guys get a full rundown of everything that's here, as best as I can do. But I don't think everybody wants to see every single tiny little, words. I believe I already looted this. Yeah, I already looted this office. And I've looted upstairs, so hey, it's a zombie on the whatever that is. Come down here, buddy. I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Yeah, sometimes you need a G-Gun. Okay, but we've been to cell block C. Let's go to cell block B and loot its office. And then we will go check out some other portions of the prison. Well, I don't know what this is, but it don't smell good. It's a stinky area. Be nice to find a... it's a jail cell. Don't want to go in there. I believe you can, like, dismember the corpses and turn them to and clean them up with a mop to get rid of the smell. But we're not going to do that because that's take way too long. And I don't think there's really all that much negative to the vomit-inducing smell. It would be kind of nice if there was, but I don't think there is. And we unloaded everything that we had picked up last time into the truck, so we're empty. Okay, there it is. Very tough lock. Can't get in that room either. And if you only have a lockpick of 25, you're gonna run into a lot of stuff like that. And smack! And you want some too? Come here, buddy. As I said in previous episode, aim high. I don't know why, but aim high. For some reason, aiming directly at their head does not actually give you a headshot. You have to aim above their head. Okay. Here, another zombo. I don't know if there's... Well, let's go upstairs and see if there's anything on the upper floors. I think they're all just cells. I'm gonna look for office space like what I found downstairs. I believe they're all on the ground floor, and these are all just... I'm so glad I got the sword. I love this sword. Personal belongings back. And we got some flippy flops. Yay, flippy flops. I love flip flops. Let me go upstairs. Okay, so this is B block. This is... There, I missed. That was going to look so cool. You know, just run up and slash him in the face. But I missed. Got that one. Now, this is one of those, must be one of those co-ed prisons. What's the stop sign say? Stop. Out of bounds. Whatever. Don't care if I'm out of bounds or not. I just want to get out of the stinky room. What's in... Nothing in the fire hose box. And I'll bring you back when we find something interesting. Okay, so A block's infirmary. And I'm probably going to miss a good chunk of stuff because, well, there's a lot here. And off screen, off recording, however you want to say it, I will probably go through and completely loot everything. But that's gonna take a few hours to go through and destroy everything, get everything. Obviously, like any place, an infirmary, you're gonna have some locks. You're gonna have medicine. So if you need medicine, cool. You don't need medical stuff. There's not a lot of non-medical stuff in the infirmary because, that wouldn't make any sense. And it was brought up from last episode because I said that I was curious to see if the lockpicking experience went up the harder the lock is. Does not appear to be that way. I'm getting more experience now because I have that muscle memory perk. Because in last episode I was getting 180 experience per lock when I don't break the lockpick. Okay. Now that was 254, so I don't know. That was a lot of experience. Wonder if that was 254 for scavenging. I'll have to look at the footage a little bit better to see if that was lockpicking or not. But it would be a really good idea for the developers to make a harder lock give more experience. Because at the current rate, if you are getting the same experience for a very simple lock as you do for a very tough lock, people are just going to go look for very simple locks to get their experience up. And honestly, it should, you would go get harder and harder locks. Otherwise, you've got diminishing returns. And I do know the levels. You need more experience the higher level you go. Which, I mean, is pretty standard for most video games, most RPGs especially. You need 10 experience to get to level 2, you need 20 to get to level 3, 40 to get to level 4, etc., etc., etc. That's standard. And taking a note from RPGs of years past, you would normally there's a curve on the difficulty of enemies. You can't grind, or you can, but you don't want to grind to level 100 by fighting the starting mobs outside of the starting zone. So that's my thought. And I'm not a developer. I'm not the developer for this game. So all I can do is say how I would like to see things. And I do think a very tough lock is going to be much harder to pick lock because, I mean, that's just common sense. Normally the light switch is at the top of the stairs. Okay. It's over here. Set off, set off, set on. Okay, there we go. And it's like I was thinking the other day about right now, understanding that Vane is a very, very early access game. how would everyone like to see it progress? There will obviously be updates, because it's not a very good game if you don't update it. I'm not saying it's not a very good game. It is an amazing game as it sits currently. But I know the devs are talking about updates, talking about their roadmap and all that. And I believe they are listening to community feedback as a way to determine what direction the game goes in. And I was discussing this earlier today. When you think about zombie movies and zombie franchises and stuff like that, you kind of have a few different options on how it's going to play out. Either you're going to have like super zombies at some point in time. Think your Resident Evils and other intentional zombie outbreak games. Like somebody intentionally released this zombie virus, or at least intentionally developed it. This is not, it's not that the virus came from space or it's a mutation or something like that. It's this virus came from a laboratory. Somebody designed this virus. And I'm not pointing any fingers at any real life events or anything like that. Just, there's kind of two different tropes to zombie franchises. You either have intentional or an intentional virus, whether it's intentionally released or not, that's always kind of up in the air. Or you have unintentional, as in this is a mutated virus. Nobody studied this thing. It happened. And it kind of comes down to, do we want to see harder zombies? I believe they were talking on the roadmap about the idea of survivors, other survivors, and doing survivor encampments. Like, one of the things you'll be facing against is other people who may have banded together and want your loot. You got loot, they want it. It makes sense. Ooh, a shower room. Don't drop the soap. Otherwise, we get into a numbers game. Like right now, one-on-one, zombies aren't hard to kill. You run up to a zombo and just hit them in the head and they're dead. So then it comes down to, okay, one-on-one, that's fine. 5-on-1, it's still feasible. 20-on-1, you might want to start thinking about running. Or we get into the more difficult zombos. Ew. Does not look yummy. Let's go down and check it out. Okay. Front rows. I guess this is where the cameraman stands, so they can film all the stuff that happens in the showers. Obviously, do not ever film what occurs in the showers. Unless it's between two consenting adults. And I believe A block is the largest block. The fun thing is going to be more along the lines of finding my way back to my truck. Yes, it's not locked. Yeah, basically the point I was getting at is, if you were in charge of Vane, if you could speak directly to the developers and have your idea influence the game, would you rather just stick to a numbers game, more and more and more and more zombies until you're eventually overrun? Or would you like to see super zombies? And it doesn't even have to be like mutations. I think somebody in the Discord was talking about the idea of encountering the SWAT team turned zombies. Or even going back to Resident Evil, think of the stars. Yeah, that's the way I came. Ew. I don't think I can get down there from up here. Ah! I wasn't expecting him to be alive. Yep, I jumped a little bit. Whee! Yeah, this is where I was. Alright, so we need to go find our way downstairs. Kind of bullshit. I was just here. There weren't no zombos. Now there are. I don't know how I feel about the zombos spawning randomly. To a point, I think I would rather them not. Now, obviously, you know, I want more and more zombies. I'm thinking of this. I'm trying to think of this game as much as I can from a real life perspective. If a zombie apocalypse actually happened. I'm pretty sure I already looted the commissary. Just double checking. There would be zombies coming to you. But they wouldn't just magically show up. The more noise you make, the more likely they are to show up. But it would be a logical way. Like, obviously, there's only so many zombies inside the prison. Go ahead. Rinse ourselves off real quick. Make us smell all nice and yummy. Okay, so that's the shower room. Where's that gore room? Through here? And if I can, I'm going to pick the lock. Okay, I think we found the gore room. I got a couple of... Hi, buddy. Hi. Got a present. It's not a present you're going to want, but it's a present nonetheless. Okay, the reason I wanted to find the core room... Yeah, that's a very tough lock. I can't open it. That's a very tough lock. I can't open it. But I can open the duffel bag and get those 45 ACP rounds. I can open that duffel bag. Get those 9mm. Which is good because the gun I'm currently using is a 9mm. Very tough. Tough lock. I can open that. not another autosave kind of. I might need to turn down the frequency of those. I got a leg. Another duffel bag. Unfortunately, all those MREs are rotten, which doesn't make me happy. Are we at the point where MREs... Are we already at the point where MREs are starting to go rotten? Which is still something I think the devs need to fix. MREs don't really go rotten. They may taste like crap, but they don't go rotten. Per se. And nobody really wants to live on them. Okay. So we need to find out how to get into that side of that room. And I am very heavy, I can already tell, because I can't run. This is literally me sprinting. And as you see, I'm not going that fast. Corridor A. Outside. Okay. There's Zombo and his tidy whities. And here's the other side of that room. Including the zombie that I knocked through the wall. I hit him so hard he went through the wall. Okay. More lockpicking. Sports equipment. Yay. I don't want much of this. But I will pick all the locks because, you know, lockpicking. I'll take the painkillers. I'm not looting everything right this second just because I know I am approaching weight. And I'm trying not to fill up on stuff that I don't really care about at this exact moment. I will come back and get everything. But I do need to be kind of sort of smart about what all I carry. And this looks like a solitary confinement area. Never expect them to be runners. And then they run at me, and it's like, eh. Other way. I'm not super worried about all my lockpicks because I know I'm getting a crap ton. It's like I know there's a bunch in my truck. It's in that area. There it is. Yeah, see, very encumbered. I knew I was getting close to that. There's more lockpicks right there. There's even more lockpicks. Somebody wants to come play. I hear them. I'll take the taser carts. Take the taser carts. Again, I'll come back off screen and loot everything. This is kind of just a... Yeah, see, like, I can't run at all. There's no difference between my running and my not running. Pretty sure I came this way. Hello. And I could understand, like, you know, some of these corpses that are on the ground standing up after, like, taking longer to stand up. That would actually be kind of cool. But I'm gonna go step outside. I'm gonna try to figure out where my truck is, so we can unload this, and we'll actually move the truck. Just need some kind of landmark. Just a random security shack that doesn't seem to overlook anything. I guess it overlooks the road, the main drive. And I could gank another car and use it to get to my box truck, but I don't know. Doesn't sound like the correct way to do this. Just trying to figure out where I am in relation. I know I'm on the outside perimeter of the prison. I just need to figure out where I am as in relation to the entrances. I think this is the main entrance here, the one I came in. Yeah, yep, that's the one I came in. Alright, I know where I am. I just needed something so I could get my bearings. I don't know where everything in the prison is. I don't know where everything is in any game. I especially don't know where everything is in this one. But if I were to take everything out of the prison and destroy everything that I don't view as viable for it to stay in the prison, I would probably have to fill multiple box trucks. And I'm not 100% sure I want to do that right now. I do know this is going to be a long walk. I may just pop back in and go through the building. Let's see what this building is. Because I don't want to be in, I don't think I want to be in that one at the moment. Don't actually see an entrance. So I guess we're not going to go that way. I'm just so freaking heavy. I think we'll be back when I get to my truck. Okay, pretty sure that's my truck right in front of us. The nice thing is, if I were to take everything out of here and, like I said, fill multiple box trucks, there's plenty. If you need to get a box truck and you're having trouble finding them, come to the jail. There's a lot here. And yeah, now my truck smells like crap. So let's, oh yeah, that's all rotten stuff. Let's take all that and, you know, I really wish video games would decide if it's Control or C to crouch. Because it seems to be, you know, every other game you play is either Control or C. It's just like, come on. We've determined that WASD is your movement keys. That's the go-to. Can we please come to a consensus on Control or C? I would rather it be Control because I can hit it with my pinky while I'm still able to use the rest of my fingers. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm doing a WSD, I'm using my first 3 fingers and my pinky kind of just hovers. It kind of becomes the useless finger. I want to come in here. And where I am in the grounds is, I think this will be the easiest way to show you. The entrance I came in, the double entrance, is right down there. So you come in the double entrance, you come all the way to the end, and hang a left. And you can't really go any other direction. But I want to start checking out some of these front buildings, and I think I might have already. Nope, this is where I want to be. Come on, get around there. Come on. While you're trying to make up your mind to what you want to do, I don't think I looted this yet. No. Nope, I haven't been here. Call me weird. Industrial area, tools. I like tools. There. Zombo dispatched. So, let's get to looting. I've kind of been thinking of doing some of these like looting runs like this in a sped up fast forward time lapse instead of just cutting them out. But let me know what you think about that. This is an area that I am going to destroy everything because I'm seeing those wire bundles, and I don't really want these tool chests. I mean, I'd love to have a bunch of tool chests, but I don't really have a lot of space for a bunch of them. And they're not really that good. They look good, but you can't always just take what looks good. Industrial driver. Another industrial driver. Yeah, now you see why I stopped here. Kind of making a little bit of sense. Yep. Yes, it is. That's a hydraulic driver. I can't remember. Is the industrial better than the hydraulic, or is it the other way around? I can never remember. I know they're both good, but I can't. It would almost be nice if, when you moused over it, it would say this is a tier 1 tool. This is a tier 2 tool. God, that's such a kind of difficult for me to say. Also, tool chests are generally locked. And if they're locked, that means I can get some of that sweet, sweet lockpicking experience. We already established how much I like lockpicking experience. Getting a lot of yummy, yummy loot. Yummy, yummy loot in my pocket. I might get all the way to level 50 by the time I'm done here. Would be kind of nice. Nope, that's not the way I came in. That's the way I came in. I knew it was one either left or right. I just Couldn't remember if it was left or right. Okay, we put all that stuff up. We go back in and tear all that down. I will level this room. Because there's going to be a lot of aluminum scrap. It's going to be a lot of copper. It's going to be a lot of plastic. I should get some torn wires, electrical scrap. You know, should be some decent stuff from tearing this all down. There. If I can actually get around to tearing it all down. But again, this will be another cut. We'll see. We'll see when this room's empty. Okay, figured I'd bring you back real quick. I had to go out and get a hydraulic driver in order to take some of the stuff apart, which I did answer my question about whether hydraulic or industrial is better. Hydraulic is better. I had some stuff that needed an industrial driver to open and some stuff that needed hydraulic, but once I got the hydraulic, everything else got torn down. So I also noticed that I got a set of hydraulic cutters, so upgrade to my grinder. This, I don't know if it's bugged out or what, but I can't interact with it in any way, shape, or form. Can't destroy it. I think that's just a normal workbench, like what I have at home, but I can't do anything with it. And these things are just really good to break. They're everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place. Not just in here, just in general. I do think I'm going to just keep hydraulic driver, hydraulic cutters. Because with the hydraulic cutters, I don't need the grinder. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the hydraulic driver means you don't need a screwdriver, right? I always keep a screwdriver on me just because, I don't know. I just always keep a screwdriver on me. Good. So that concludes the tool room. And I'm going to keep going until I start getting that tired message. Hello. Goodbye. 1, 2. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Ooh, I can actually use soap to wash my hands. Washing yourself, I don't know if washing yourself in the sink and washing yourself in using the soap do the same thing, but I think the soap should do more than just using a sink. At least, in my mind. Again, all I can say is how I perceive things. Ooh, office. We know how much I like my offices. I'll come up here. The light switch isn't there. It's just one of those. Sometimes the light switches are there, but they're like in the wall, like they didn't place correctly. Okay, what do we got through this door? We got a whole bunch. We got a whole treasure trove up here. That's going to take a minute. Another infirmary. Hi. Hi. Oh, are we? I think we might be where No. So much stuff to loot. Another solitary wing. Okay, so this is cell block B, I guess. This is cell block B's office, which is good because I already looted cell block A. I've already looted cell block C. Might as well do the trifecta and get all 3 cell blocks. So I'm probably not going to loot every single thing in the prison today because this is already taking a very long time, and I don't think we need to do 3 or 4 episodes doing this. I don't want to sit here for the next multiple hours going through the prison square by square to get every single thing. I want this stuff in the offices right now. That's my goal. That's what I'm doing. I do think I need to use a flare gun against a zombie at least once while we're in here. That's that office already looted, and I'm already very heavy. So we gotta go empty again. So yes, this is one of those. If you want to come do this, bring a box truck, bring a friend, and a friend's box truck. So I need to loot this room and the room above it. We'll leave that door shut so I know I haven't been in there. I did it again. Tried to go out the wrong end. Exit. I know this over here is my exit. Oh, that's why. There we go. I can run again. Yay! Okay. Close that door behind us, and we'll take care of these 2 offices. I think we all knew that was coming. That's actually going the wrong way. Got it. And it seems like I see more of this screen than anything else in here. Vane presents Lockpick Simulator 2025. Learn to get good at Bethesda-style lockpicking. And to a point, it would be kind of nice if, like, the different tiers of lockpicks, or pit locks, not lockpicks, had different mechanics. Like, this was the lockpicking for simple and very simple, and then tough and very tough had another mechanic, another way of picking the lock. I think that'd be interesting. I did say at the end of this episode we'll go through and show off just what all's in the box truck. But I'm probably going to finish looting this office, and then we're going to start going home. Because this has already been... I think I've been in the prison for like 3.5 hours currently. And there's a good chunk of footage that's already going to and already has ended up on the cutting room floor. Purely in an effort to make it entertaining for you. I'm not going to go loot the infirmary because I don't need that much medical stuff at this moment. And just not going to. There is another part of the prison I want to go to. Okay, and this is over the showers. The other office I was in was over the workshop, so where I stole all the tools. Turn my flashlight off. There's C block. Okay, so I've been there. Just hang a left to C block. And I'm sure someone at some point in time is going to make a map for the prison. Yeah, there's your infirmary. Already been in there, both floors. So that makes me curious what's in. Okay, that's another solitary area. Alright, isn't there an office in the back of these? Yes, there is. Which means I've missed some stuff. But I already knew I was going to miss some stuff. But I did say I was going to loot the offices, so. Loot and pillage, you're all coming home with me. I don't know why I have such a bad habit of singing. Just these little, like, mindless jingles that come out of my head. Oh, that didn't take very long. Actually, I want to check something. I want to check something real quick. Can you take that? Oh, that would be a really cool thing to have back at the house for a security camera setup. But I guess you can't take that with you. Okay, where do you go? Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of exploring. Some of this stuff will probably get cut out. Huh. Oh, okay, I've been there. Okay, done with B block. For now. We'll be back. I don't know if there's one of those I don't think there's one of those workshops in every block. I think it's just B block. Again, like always. If I'm wrong, beep boop it down there in the comments and let me know. Yeah. Okay, that one wasn't an old. Yeah, some of the physics is a little messed up. I think it's that building I want to go to. Yeah, we can just do it like this. All right. I'm pretty sure this is the one I want. Yep, this is where I want. This is where I want. This is where a lot of people, when they first come to the prison, this is where a lot of people go to. Shit. I know that sound. Yep, here they come. Hopefully it's not a very bad one. If you're not familiar, that is the sound that always comes before a horde. So if you hear that, get to safety. My idea of getting to safety is get to a vehicle. Technically speaking, as long as you don't really stop, you're pretty freaking safe. I need to go back through the car lot episode and see if I actually heard the horde or not. So all you have to do is touch a zombo with your vehicle. You don't actually have to run them over. As long as your vehicle's moving and you touch them, they fall down. Do be aware that you get them piled up too thick, they get to be kind of hard to drive over. So try to move around and not just stack up a big pile. This is not the Dead Rising games where you just drive through a massive group of zombies with no repercussions. Okay, we might be done with it. I'm not seeing any more. And if we still got some stragglers, I can probably take them with the sword. We'll find out. Got one right here. But yeah, that sound. I'm very glad that that sound is in the game. That way you know it's coming. Because I didn't want to be in here fighting that many zombies. I probably could have. With this sword, definitely. But yeah, this is the area I was looking for. Not really looking for. I knew where it was. This is the area I was trying to get to. There's not any major reason. It's just another big office area. And we got a nice little bathroom so we can wash our hands again. We dry ourselves. Just before we go into a room with a corpse. Gun case. We like gun cases, right? And like always, I'm just going through and grabbing everything. I'm not going to tear it all down because I don't want to spend that much time doing so. Obviously, by now you're getting kind of an idea of how large the prison is. How much stuff is in the prison. And that's without including what it would be like if I was destroying everything. And like I said, we're going to go through all this back in the truck, so not really much point in going through it here. It's not really mine until we get it back to the truck safe and sound. It's just mine for right now because, I mean, I could have a big group come and take everything away from me. I hear them, I just don't see them. It's always my least favorite kind, is the ones you see and don't hear, or hear but don't see, because you don't know how. You kind of have an idea how far they are, but not really. Does anyone else find themselves going really quiet in a video game if you're trying to be quiet in the video game? Like, obviously, the noise I'm making in real life means... Okay. Unloaded and back to looting. Freaking autosaves in the middle of this. I don't know how I feel about that. I know it throws me a little bit, but yay, one of the reasons I wanted this area. Look at all them duffel bags. And not rotten MREs. Maybe it was just that one area. I'm not complaining. Okay, it's on the... Oh, N4. Yay, I got the N4. I'll show that off when we get back to the house. But the N4 is basically the M4 or M16. The standard military rifle. Okay, I don't see anything underneath. Don't see anything hiding in the corners. Underneath, I want one of these. I would rather have one of these in the back of the truck than a sleeping bag. So we'll grab one. And for your knowledge, the metal detector does work. You are carrying metal. If you go through there, you will set off an alarm. It will make a lot of noise. And remember, the zombies are attracted to noise. So the more noise you make, the more zombos you get to fight. Which, if you want to fight zombos, is a great thing. If you don't want to fight a bunch of zombos, go through the middle of the metal detector. It's a little safer. Oh, hello. I didn't mean to startle you. I know you were hard at work, but yeah, I want this stuff. This stuff's coming home with me. Those have all been checked. Got the blockers out here. I'm probably gonna have to go back to my truck. I do need to assign that skill point though. So let's do that real quick. That is for strength. Then we got muscle memory and well read. We're on muscle memory because I already have big back. And because I'm so close to my truck, I have no problem taking all of this. Sure, because we're so close to my truck, we're going to go ahead and take it back to the truck real quick, and then we'll go that way. Yeah, just go through the middle of the metal detectors, and you don't have to worry about setting them off. I do kind of wish you'd keep your weapon out when you got back out of a truck or a vehicle. Obviously, you had it out when you got in the vehicle. Do not enter until instructed by an officer. Can I go in? Yep, thank you. Really not a light switch in here? Yeah, there it is. Hey. More lockpicking. Ooh, I'm so close to 50. Yeah, getting some serious lag. I'll take the newspaper. The pizza can stay there. Hey, what's through the door? Hey, into the prison. Out into the yard. Don't really want to go out in the yard. I'm scared of the yard. Which block is this? I'm just curious to know which cell block this is. This is A block. All right. But I think that's kind of going to be it for the prison. I still wish I could take that. I got those 30, which really sucks because I'm one level away from getting 50 on lockpick. Been in there. Looted through there. I'm hearing a hearing a walker, but I'm not seeing one. I just want to give it level 50 lockpick. Put everything up. Disengage. And hi-ho, silver! Away. I know I could get out that way. I just kind of want to go look at a couple more things. There's really only one more place in the prison, and that's the church. I'm kind of surprised I can't see. But yeah, the church is back there. But we don't need to worry about that. There's nothing. Alright, let's go home. Got a lot of stuff in this box truck. I will be back to the prison at some point in time, because I do want to take everything that's here. Someone asked me not too long ago if I was playing on hard mode. It kind of depends on what your definition of hard mode is. Are we saying like permadeath? I don't have permadeath set, but I can, you know, I don't need permadeath to be set in the game to play permadeath. I can just, tell myself that if I die, this playthrough is done. I don't need a game setting for that. Not having loot spawn or all loot respawn turned off, that makes it kind of difficult, right? Okay, we just want to hang over. We just want to go straight. So we'll be back when we get to the house. I will say next episode I do want to go through and I need to do some serious upgrades to the base. The wall is fine for now. I do want to make it much, much larger. But that will take a few hours off camera crafting before that's even remotely a possibility. Because I want to go all the way to the road. I want a huge front yard. But I did say that we would go through what all we got. I have 1,699 pounds worth of stuff in this truck. And I will go through them on the tabs. As far as weapons, bar clamp, bread knife, a couple combat knives, a dynamite pack, 3 sticks of dynamite. You need a lighter to ignite them. All of the flare guns, a foam sword, frag grenade, OnStar 1911, Police 38 Special, Viper, 1N4, an 870, which is the shotgun, some paint brushes, some paint roller, a bunch of police batons, a rifle suppressor for my M4, because that's what is going on, a bunch of shivs, because you can't go to a prison without finding shivs. A whole ton of tasers, if I can talk. A couple more tomahawks, which, it's a really, really good melee weapon. UN-57s, which aren't fabulous because the ammunition's not all that common. And 2 more Wolfram 17s. As far as armor, nothing. Clothing, a lot. And I'm just going to quickly scroll through this. I'm not going to read any of it because I didn't really get a bunch off the zombies. This is all from lockers and stuff. I took some off the zombies, but not much. whole lot of leather shoes, leather jackets, which the leather jackets aren't bad. They do count as armor, but it's not cold yet, so I'm not going to be that worried about a jacket. Puffer jackets, which are good for they're good for winter. So between the puffer jacket and I got snow pants at some point in time. So I got some of my clothing for winter. Consumables. Let's just go up to the top. Let's look at magazines real quick. This is all the magazines I got. 4 constructing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crafting, same number of dismantling, 3 electrical, some mechanical, lockpicking, which I really should have been reading before I was doing all that lockpicking. Driving, cooking, scavenging, agility, strength, throwing, repair, sneaking, sociability, which I don't think is actually in the game yet. Trading, I don't know if it's in the game. Medical, vitality, and farming. Got a lot of magazines. As far as food, I mean, it's not fantastic for food, but I didn't go there for food. If I wanted food, I would have went to a supermarket or something. I went to a prison. And I'm not even sure if I looted that kitchen storeroom right when I started. So there could be a whole crap ton more there still that I haven't taken. As far as medical, remember, I didn't take a lot of medical. A neg, AB neg, AB positive. I didn't get any A positive, which I don't know if it's in the game. B neg, B positive. So a lot of blood bags, some actual blood test kits, which I'm going to go ahead and use. Oh, it shows on, I think it shows on another screen after you've used one. But now I don't have to make one, so. Hand sanitizer, antibiotics, a bunch of syringes, which, they come in handy for reasons. As far as ammunition, and remember, this is all, I emptied the truck before we went to the prison, so this is all just from the prison. I'm pretty sure. And I'm not going to read out everything. I got two 30 round N4 magazines, which I'm thrilled about. Bunch of taser cards, some more Warm 17 magazines. Even though I didn't get these in. And I'm just going to scroll through this, and you can see it for yourself. And again, remember, I didn't take everything. There's still that box of car stuff that I left because it was too heavy for me to carry. And there was so much stuff I didn't tear down. As far as tools, again, I'm just going to scroll through this. Here's the heavy-duty lithium batteries that you need for the hydraulic tools. Obviously, a lot of those. Bear in mind, this hydraulic cutter, plus I have another one on me. Both came from the prison. Hydraulic drivers, plus another one that's on me. Industrial drivers. Well, that's an interesting thing. You go to the industrial driver, it says driver bit, industrial driver bit. You go to the hydraulic driver, it doesn't say anything like that. So I guess it doesn't need a bit. But this does say the best driving tool you'll find. So I guess that does say that it's the top tier. Industrial welding wire. I did get 2 industrial welders, which is awesome. Because I don't think there's actually a better welder. But if I find one, I'll let you know. lithium batteries, a bunch of them. 22 lockpicks in my truck, plus another 16 on me. I feel like I'm missing a lot of lockpicks. Like, I feel like I had more, or I put away more than that. Wonder if Zombo swiped some. As far as specials, I mean, I got some schematics, nothing fabulous, and I do remember that I actually passed one of those magazine racks, but we've all seen I don't have any luck with those. Miscellaneous, I mean, there's nothing really in miscellaneous that you care about. There's 16 lockpicks there. Yeah, I don't feel like I feel like I got gypped out of some of my lockpicks, and I know I broke a fair chunk, but I don't know. But I think that's going to do it for the day. I need to sort all that and scrap what needs to be scrapped and blah 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 blah. But that'll wrap up the episode. If you enjoyed if you liked the content, just remember to smack that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. It's free for you. It helps me out a great deal. Once YouTube know I'm doing a good job, lets me know I'm doing a good job. And until next time, I've been Nidget, obviously.